Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, babe.
I would like to welcome you to another fantasy football podcast brought to you by the Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen. FLOOG. It's a fluke.
So ordinary, but extraordinary.
Hey, friends, what is up? How are we tonight?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Awesome.
Cold beers here. I am your host, Joshua T.A. Hicks. I have a star-studded stable of
Hell yeah.
studs.
Stallions.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Dude.
Tonight we're doing the NFC North fantasy preview. Let's go around the Zoom to my left. He just finished a great looking steak as we watched him eat. While we were getting
only halfway done.
Found on Twitter at Gars_Poetica. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Jerkowski.
Yeah.
All right.
All three of you know. Smoking has become one of my favorite hobbies lately. Even if it is for until midnight half the time. But, no, it's actually really fun, man. I'm starting to actually learn how to, keep the temperature right and whatnot, and put whatever kind of apple wood or hickory or something like that. I would like to do cherry at some point, but I went from deer meat is what I started with, then the pork butt, then I did ribs. Ribs were probably the best thing I've smoked yet. Then I've done burgers and steak. It's so much fun. But it's just timing, obviously, being able to smoke at the right time. But yeah, it's become so much fun. But man, good to see you guys. I know it's been a couple weeks for some of us, so I'm ready for tonight.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks to you and Ty down there for holding down the pod last week. Great job.
Oh yeah,
Appreciate it.
Just like anybody else who can't make it. So we'll be down. And to my left or right webinar type deal here on the Zoom, Mr. Tyson Cullen.
What's up, fellas? How we all doing?
Hey, man. You went on another trip. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So, how long do we got? No, I'm just kidding. So I went to see my brother up this long. I'm gonna try to make this short. So I went to go see my brother in Indianapolis, but I didn't get to see him till Sunday. But so I had other plans. So I ended up I was supposed to fly to Indianapolis or Chicago, and that got delayed. So I ended up flying to Detroit. Got laid over for 4 hours on Friday. Ended up going to Indianapolis. Drove all the way to Milwaukee, which is 5 hours from Indianapolis, to see the Milwaukee Brewers and Cincinnati Reds game. That was a nice little stadium. Drove another hour and 45 to good old Green Bay, which is one of the teams we're going to be talking about. Woke up, went to Lambeau Field, looked at the surroundings. I have a video somewhere where basically there's one road where it's all everybody's house is decorated in Packers. Like there's a guy, there's one house that the dude's whole field dude's backyard is football field. It's basically 2 goalposts and a football field. Then there was another person with the Lombardi trophy in his backyard. And then a whole a deck that was made out of Green Bay Packers. So that was pretty cool. I would go see a game. That it had I don't think anybody here has been to a Bills game, but it had a Buffalo Bills feeling of small town, which is my type of tea, I guess, if you want to call it. So I would go see a Green Bay game. Then I went to that same day, so that was Saturday morning. I drove to Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is about 4 hours away. Saw a Twins game. They played the Tigers. That was a really good game. Then drove over to US Bank Stadium, which is where the Vikings play. So then I drove to Indianapolis, and I hung out with my brother Sunday. Got to see the Colts stadium. That's a nice stadium as well.
You really got around.
I did, man. Like I said, like my brother ended up texting me like Wednesday, Thursday, like, man, I'm not gonna be able to get together. I was like, all right, well, that's fine. I mean, I got things I can do. Like I was like, I don't know if I ever go back up there. Like, I mean, I have no reason to go back up there. So I might as well make the most of it.
I feel like you tour stadiums like Josh tours wine, like vineyards.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, no, I do.
But I'm jealous of that. Just for the record, I'm going to state it publicly that I envy your international man of mysteryness.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, it's what I like to do. I mean, it's 34 years old. For long, I'm not going to be able to do some of these things or want to be able to do these things. So I might as well, get it out of my system before I can't.
Sure.
So saw the Colts Stadium, saw where the Pacers play, and Indianapolis was better than I thought it would, and that was really about it, honestly. So I had a good time. It was worth it. It was a lot of driving, but again, I like driving. Love driving through Wisconsin. If you ever get a chance to drive through Wisconsin, very nice, very farmland, nothing but farmland. Indiana, same thing. Illinois, hated driving through Illinois. If you can help, sorry, anybody that's from Illinois, but
couldn't agree more.
I just didn't like
more.
It. I just didn't like it. So
yep.
That's my long story short. Yep.
Very nice.
Well, I was surprised because I mean, you were sending me and Josh pictures like, was it a day or two after we podcast on Saturday?
Yep. Yeah.
Like, goddamn, this guy just traveled what, 500 miles?
Yeah. So my flight was 5:45 the next morning after we did the podcast. So
I had no idea. You should have told me. You probably didn't. I just didn't even know. No,
I did. I just,
all that Colombian extract kept you up, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh God. Oh Lord.
Colombian Bam Bam boy.
I'm just kidding. Exactly. Ty is an outstanding citizen.
I try.
That was cocoa beans, right? That's what it was. Cocoa beans.
Yeah, exactly.
Cocoa beware.
Just need a parrot now.
Oh man.
Oh
right,
man.
Who we got? Sitting next to me at IRL in real life.
In real life, I'm a real life human right now.
I missed him last week on the pod. He wasn't here along with myself. Busy man. The Morgmar, ladies and gentlemen. Morgan Heath.
Howdy, folks.
The philosopher.
Been thinking a lot. Been thinking about thinking. It hurts.
Hurts so much.
But it's good to be back. I couldn't do it last week. I live out in the sticks, so when I can't actually come to somebody's house, I can't do Zoom. So, it's almost like living off the grid, except for not.
Yeah,
well, you went from city folk to off the grid.
I would love to be off the grid. I would love to be in the middle of like 500 to 1,000 acres in the mountains.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's the spot, man. But it's great to see you guys. Gary, you're looking dapper for a nemesis. Ty, I think this is the second time I've seen this sweet camera. I still miss the Smokers Oasis, but it's good to see. It's good to see you. And I'm excited about this division.
Mm-hmm. Very, very much so. Does anybody drinking anything? Any good beers tonight?
Well, I had a limeade earlier from Sonic that was delicious. If I'm being honest, they make some killer limeades. I don't know if y'all know. And yes, I was born in 1955.
Gary, do you have any good? What are you drinking?
It's Clown Shoes Ancient Hills. It's a chocolate malt stout, aged in bourbon barrels. It says Kung Fu Ballet Series.
Hell yeah!
Okay. Cool can art.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Not that listeners can hear, but anyways. Morgan and I have Natty.
Yep. Living the dream. It's so affordable. and it gets it done.
Yeah.
It's better than Bud Light for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at jhex804. You can find Gary at Guards_Poetica. You can find Morgan at the Morgue Mart.
I am the Morgue Mart.
Yes.
At Morgue Mart.
At Morgue Mart. You can find our website, www.thefluke.com. With Twitter at @thefluke_FF. What am I missing? Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, listen anywhere. Our pods actually go to YouTube.
Yes, they do.
So you can listen on YouTube.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Absolutely.
You recently finished your Scott Fish draft.
I did.
Yeah, how you feel about it?
I feel like you guys are giving me compliments, so I guess I did something right.
Yeah.
I
think you got great value on your tight ends.
Yeah, especially your first pick.
So so at the 5, so I had the 5 spot. And I did a lot of mocks, and Kelsey was falling there sometimes. Let me give this guy credit on Twitter. Let me look his name up. Why I am my strategy. So anyways, I knew like Mahomes, McCaffrey wasn't gonna fall to me. But then there's always like Allen, Kyler Murray, and Kelsey doing like all in there, right? So I didn't know. And it came to it, and I actually Dalvin Cook went 2, which threw me off. So then I had the option of Allen or Kelsey. Going off just last year's numbers, I just wanted to get a quarterback because doing the mocks that I was doing, I was like practicing going quarterback because I didn't like the quarterbacks
that would come back to you later.
Back to me, and I just wanted. I don't know. I just feel like I need to load up on quarterback. So I went Josh Allen and then Russell Wilson.
I like that you took 2 quarterbacks with rushing upside.
Yeah, and with the first down and everything.
Yeah,
and I feel like.
Sorry, go ahead, Todd.
I was just gonna say I feel like you're loaded at wide receiver. I sent you a text, and of course I love the Josh Allen pick, but I feel like you're loaded at wide receiver. And I forget, was it Morgan that said the tight ends are pretty good too?
Yeah,
like you got mad value on Jonnu.
I got Jonnu in like the 12th, and then I got Gesicki in like the 8th, and then I wanted Hayden Hurst. I kept thinking he was going to go, and I was like, I think we've talked about this. I still think that he's going to have tight end value because
I think he's a big sleeper, dude.
Yeah.
If you push Kyle Pitts out wide, like he's been playing when he was in Florida, there's a good possibility that you can see Hayden Hurst gets a lot of targets in the inside for sure.
Yeah.
Because they're not loaded at wide receiver. If they were loaded at wide receiver, I might say, meh, I don't think so. But they're not loaded at wide receiver, so he's going to get his targets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So plug real quick. The site I was using to do my mocks for Scott Fishbowl, the guy's name is Andy Estridge. At Andy Yestridge, YESTRIDGE on Twitter. The website he made all by himself, thefootballworkshop.com, and you can do mocks on there. You can do dynasty mocks, you can do rookie mocks, you can do all that stuff on there on the website. And just real quick, so I could during my lunch break at work, I just do a mock or two and kind of experiment, and that's kind of where I came with my idea of going quarterback. So
I like it. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
First, one other guy. I guess you can look and see who kind of did the same strategy as you. Mm-hmm. And I forget the guy's name, but he hit me up. And he's like, because he got Allen and Russell Wilson too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, dude. So we kind of talked for a little while.
Yeah.
But
they expanded it by 500 entries this year.
Like 1,900.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to everyone. It's a fantastic charity event. Thank you to Scott Fish for inviting the commish, Mr. Joshua T.A. Hicks, always. We all try to get in there. At least most of us do. And It's like Christmas when you get that invitation.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Man, it's so great. I came out from under a crawl house one year and saw that thing. A crawl space from a house, and found that email. Man,
it's the only email that you get yearly that you're like, you jump like and yell like
my heart skipped a beat when I saw it.
But hey, next year everybody's getting in.
Yeah, we're doing it.
More fluke representation.
Yes.
So,
there you go.
So yes, Scott Fishbowl is done. I mean, I guess we have a training camp starting in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
So, I mean,
2 weeks. Yep.
Again, something to look forward to.
Start to learn some things.
Yeah, we're getting there.
A little smoke, a little fire.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, here we are to dive into some more divisions. Like we said tonight, we're doing NFC North. Are we ready, boys?
Oh, so ready.
Here we are.
I've got my fake cigar over here. This is fantastic.
All right, guys. We're starting with the Bears. So let's go ahead. Let me we'll start. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver, tight end. Kind of run down the list, and we'll go on the draft picks. And I think the Bears. Obviously, we need to start with their draft picks because that's kind of one of the most important factors to their team. In the first round, they traded up and got the quarterback out of Ohio State, Justin Fields. So big. Right now, there's a quote unquote QB competition, but we'll get to that. In the 6th round, they took a running back and a wide receiver. Running back Khalil Herbert out of Virginia Tech, and then Daz Newsome, wide receiver out of UNC.
Hampton.
He's from Hampton.
He's from Hampton. Yep.
Okay. 757 logo.
I love that you know that, Ty. Like right on the top of your head, you're waiting for it. I love it.
So, all right, I got sidetracked. So, Ty's not in it. Me and Morgan co-commish a league in Picks 2. Speaking of Scott Fish, Capitalist Picks 2, got a trade offer from one of the guys. He messaged me on Twitter, and he's in Virginia Beach. So I talked to him the other day.
Ooh.
So, hey, that's what Scott Fish for.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, making connections and meeting
Correct.
people.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so I digress. So that's kind of, fantasy relevant players. That's who the Bears drafted. Let's start with the quarterback. They added Andy Dalton in free agency this year. Right now, they're saying Andy Dalton is the one, but I think, if you look at the news, you look at Twitter, you look at everything. Fields is definitely, he has the wave of momentum. He has. I think everybody's all in on Fields.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen Bears fans get excited about a draft pick. I have a couple Bears friends, and yeah, they're all in for Justin Fields. And I think it's kind of premature to for Matt Nagy just to come out and say, well, Dalton's our guy. They need to kind of see what Fields can do, because I've heard nothing but good things about Fields through, mini camp and OTAs and whatnot. So
I feel like Fields, based off of, Nagy came from the Chiefs.
Yeah, Casey.
If you look at the quarterbacks that they have on the roster, you have Andy Dalton, who is still an upgrade over Mitch Trubisky
and Foles.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't hate the fact that they signed him, because they signed him before they ever knew they were going to be able to get Fields. But either way, I think that Andy Dalton or Fields elevates the team. Either one will elevate the team. I think Fields will elevate it more. And I think that Fields fits more of the scheme he wants to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was a fantastic pick on their part. I think it's kind of like it could have the same sort of impact as landing a Khalil Mack or a good quarterback. I don't want to just use a quarterback though, but or the right player can absolutely turn your franchise around, and that's what Fields can do for them, I think. And I was still pretty impressed that they were able to get him.
They traded up, but it's well worth it. They're saying Nagy, and then the GM, his name's escaping me right now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Is it Light? Or is that
Ryan Pace?
Pace.
Ryan Pace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both of those guys. I think they're both on the hot seat.
Yeah.
So I think you have to swing for the fences. And
what do you stand to lose?
Yeah, and at this point, I think
it's also worth noting they made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
With that line, with that roster. So anything is possible.
I mean, but their defense is always going to be top 15, top 10. I mean, they always have a good defense, so that helps with what they had in Trubisky. And I think you can run if Fields is a guy, you can still run some of the things that they tried to do with Trubisky, which was a lot of RPOs, I think, and a lot of play action out of shotgun. So I think you can do that with Fields. Obviously, with Dolan, totally different scheme, totally different playbook.
Well, I think it's offensive coordinator is Bill Lazor, right? So he was in the OC when in Cincinnati when Andy Dalton was there too. I think that's probably why they're giving him the chance right now because he already probably knows the playbook, knows the system and whatnot. But let's think of it this way. I mean, we're talking about Andy Dalton, the same guy who probably throws more interceptions than touchdowns. So, I mean, there's going to be a chance where we're going to see Justin Fields earlier than usual. And I mean, segueing onto this, you got Justin Fields and Chris Olave, who pretty much were a good connection last year. So, I mean, I think it's just Chris Olave is kind of just like, I mean, obviously a couple tiers down from Allen Robinson, but they both have the same play style. So, I mean, this should still be good for Allen Robinson too. So, I mean, just like anybody else, especially in the fantasy community, that we all want to see Fields because, I mean, it would just not only make this team more dynamic and fun to watch, but I mean, it puts just the value of just about any player, any skilled player on here, like, trending upwards. So, that's what I think. Plus,
Exactly.
I mean, we're going to talk about David Montgomery. We got Tariq Cohen, who's coming back too. And he's been targeted like 91, 104 times within 2018 and 2019. Obviously, last year he only played 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
But you bring him back, and I think it's going to be interesting with him now that I think that's going to put David Montgomery down a couple pegs from what we've seen last year. Only in the passing game, because I mean, if you're in a PPR league, that's definitely. I'd look at this way. This is the way I put it. David Montgomery, the past 2 seasons, almost had 250 carries each time. This past season, he had 68 targets.
Mm-hmm.
The season beforehand, 35. That was all Tariq Cohen doing that. So I mean, it's great to see him after the bye week in week 11, where he averaged 24 points a game. He had a monstrous back end of the season last season. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I still value Tariq Cohen. I think he's gonna be an awesome flex. I mean, but David Montgomery, I'm probably gonna take down a peg to like a top 20 instead of like a top. What did he finish last year?
Was he top 10?
He was definitely top 10. I just don't know.
7? I think I saw 7 maybe.
I could check it out.
Are we talking about?
I might be wrong.
Rushing or like fantasy?
Fantasy in general, I could find out real quick.
Turn down your phone.
Yeah, that's so. Going back to.
He's top 4. Top. He's number 4.
Going back to Fields. So if you look at Trubisky and Foles combined, they combined for over 600 passing attempts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I think this is obviously probably one of the top training camp battles, fantasy NFL across the board, right?
Big time, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
here in Denver.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if Fields gets the range from jump. I mean, do you guys think that the passing attempts is like?
Well, see, I think if he gets the reins from the jump, I think that he actually will cut into David Montgomery because I think they'll run read with him.
Yeah.
Right.
More so than they would. I don't think they're going to run that with Dalton necessarily.
Yeah.
So
No.
I don't know. I think that Fields, if he gets the gig, that offense should look a little bit different than it did last year. If he doesn't get the gig and they start Dalton, it'll probably resemble a lot of what you saw last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they also signed Damian Williams too.
Correct. Which honestly, I think he's the actual handcuff to Montgomery more so than Khalil Herbert will be this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's a good running back. I mean, that's a good running back room. A lot better running back room than they've had in years past.
mhm.
Dude, I mean, that's a top running back room compared to most teams in this league.
Yeah. You got everything from a slasher to passing back to the hammer. You know, I mean, you got every type of running back.
Williams, yeah, and then Khalil Herbert.
Not the hammer.
But you got every type. You got every type of back that you would want.
So you know how I like to pull the DraftKings over and unders for this year. David Montgomery's is 975.5 yard.
I'll take the over.
What's with the half yard?
I'll take the over. Yeah.
Take the over.
I'll take the over. I think he can. I can think he can at least hit 1,000.
He had 1,000.
You got. Yeah. I'll take over.
But the majority of that production came down the stretch for him. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a good way to put it too, Mark. Like, I mean, they lost Charles Leno and Bobby Massey this season too. So their offensive line is kind of suspect as well. So I mean, they were ranked from Pro Football Focus for this coming year in 2021, number 27. That's not good.
Yeah, but I think losing Bobby Massey is probably a good thing, though. Bobby Massey kind of struggled.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So that's not the That's not the end of the world. Them losing Bobby Massey, and they got they drafted that tackle from Oklahoma State, I believe, Tevin Jenkins.
Tevin Jenkins, left tackle.
Yeah,
in the second.
Dude, I heard nothing but good things. I didn't hear what he did in minicamp or OTAs, but draft, you heard nothing but good things about him.
Yeah, left tackle.
So seems like he can run block. Seems like he can pass block too. I mean, seems like your old school tackle. So
yeah. All right. Let's jump to wide receiver, guys. I think we already dropped Allen Robinson's name. Shocking, but
stud.
Yeah. So Allen Robinson, contingent wide receiver 1 in fantasy. We got Mooney kind of come out of nowhere last year, right?
Yep.
We caught 61 targets on 61 catches on 98 targets, 631 yards, 4 touchdowns. Anthony Miller is still there, albeit he's been trade talk since I think the draft time. He caught 49 on 76 targets, 485 yards, and 2 TDs. I mean, you guys. I mean, A-Rob, it's nothing but on the rise, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had a career high 102 catches last year. I mean, in fourth year of 151 targets or more. With that shit show of a quarterback. So I mean,
you could say that for his whole career, shit show of a quarterback, basically.
That's true.
So talking about Robinson,
interesting. Justin Fields
started with Blake Bortles for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do to land in this football purgatory?
Yeah.
You didn't say Damiere Byrd.
I was just about to say that. Yep.
That's my guy. You got a guy? I got a guy. His name's Damiere Byrd.
Damiere Byrd. Yes, sir.
Your sleeper?
No, I think he takes Anthony Miller's spot.
Ooh, is it 3?
Yeah, because they paid him. They pursued and paid him. Now, granted, it was a 1-year contract, but they were in pursuit of him.
He had a good year for New England, considering who was throwing it to him.
Yeah,
considering that they were
what the team did as a whole.
Yeah,
but when you look at it, I mean, Robinson and Mooney are obviously. Well, I'm not even necessarily 100% sure Mooney. I mean, he's a field stretcher, right?
Yep.
In a sense.
Yeah.
He doesn't. So, I'd like to think of is Robinson playing all over the field? Is he playing on the outside? Who's playing the slot?
He plays slot. He can play in the slot too, though.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. I still think Anthony Miller is going to have trouble just based off of the past couple of years. He should have broken out by now.
Yep.
And I don't really love anything beyond those guys, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, Marquise Goodwin hasn't played in a year. I mean, he signed a 1-year deal with the Eagles, didn't even play for them, and he never really. He had 1 year where he was 900 yards with 49ers, but other than that, Like the best year was 400 yards. So and he's 30 years. He's like 31 years old, I think. So injury prone. And then they got Riley Ridley, but yeah, none of those guys really provide
Sounds like a porn star.
I'm actually more excited about the
not Riley Ridley.
Oh, my bad. You caught me, Gary.
Let's go to the fluke.com and check out mine and Gary's draft ranking. We have A-Rob both at 11. Amari Cooper above him.
Wait, that would probably change since I ain't got what to
geez, let's go to mine.
No, I would still put 11. You know, I'm actually going to drop Michael Thomas.
You got to remember, he was smoking weed that day.
Six to about.
Oh, he just happened to miss a Bills player. Mention that. Anyways, long story short.
I was just so sick of Bills for the longest time. I know. Every single one of them from my rank. No, honestly, I would probably put Allen Robinson still where he's at 11. But I would probably put Michael Thomas, who I have at 6. I'm probably drop him to like 13.
All right, well, hey, go to the Fluke website.
You know what? They should be evolving.
Yes.
You can't just put out a set of rankings and never have them evolve.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it can change like weekly.
That's poor work.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah.
Yes. We all have homework, gentlemen.
Yeah, I got to get mine in. All right, here we go.
All right,
guys. I'm bringing Stephon Diggs from number 50 to fucking 6.
Damn right.
What about the tight ends?
Let's go to tight ends, guys.
I was gonna say,
when I was looking at this, I was shocked. I didn't realize Jimmy Graham had 76 targets last year.
Yes, he did.
And 8 touchdowns.
I didn't know he had 8 touchdowns. I didn't know he had 8 touchdowns.
He was viable for sure. He had to have finished in the top.
He probably was the top. He was probably a tight end 1. No, I mean tight ends.
I mean, those numbers are so skewed.
A tight end 2, easy.
Yeah, definitely a tight end 2.
He was number 13 overall last year.
Yeah, right outside tight end 1.
So there's a lot of hype for Cole Kmet.
Mm-hmm.
I was just about to ask, what do y'all think about him?
So my resident Bear fan, Curtis Bear, fitting. He really loves Cole Kmet. He's really high on Cole Kmet. I still think that before Cole Kmet can really take that next step to viable every week, they have to move on from Jimmy Graham. I think Jimmy Graham still cuts into Cole Kmet. But that being said, they're both really athletic tight ends and could both be starting options or flex options at any point this year, I think.
Yeah.
Especially given the lack of wide receiver depth, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
I
still think I was just going to say, I think Jimmy Graham still has some juice, but I do think Cole Kmet goes from 243 yards to say we'll just say 343. I mean, I think he takes a small step forward, maybe not a huge leap, but a small step forward. That's all I was going to say.
Well, I was going to say, I think Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham's numbers will flip-flop this year. So, but I mean, I still think Jimmy Graham's, he had 8 touchdowns compared to Kmet's 2. He's going to be more of a red zone threat, I think, for this team, like Jimmy Graham for sure. But I mean, that's definitely going to cap Kmet in a way. But I still think Kmet is obviously, I think he's going to be on the field more, like for the, from, the 20s to the 20-yard line. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Exactly.
In between the 20s.
More than
in between the 20s.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
So I think Kmet's going to get more targets for sure. I could see him in the 80 range compared to double what he has now. And Jimmy Graham could obviously, because he's 31, 32 now?
34.
Is it? Yeah. You know what? He might be lower than that.
I think he'll be 35 by the end of the season.
Okay. But he could probably
just Manny Sanders
the red zone for sure.
What? Manny Sanders. Whatever.
Yeah, his birthday is right before Thanksgiving. He'll be 35.
Holy moly.
He's 6'7", dude. Obviously, he's going to be put in the red zone.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be interested too to see if he can have a little bit of a renaissance year if they start Fields, because look at how good he was in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. He's also like 11 billion years old. You make a great point with that.
Yeah. But he had a better year than the year before.
Maybe that makes him more of a tight end sleeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a way to look at that.
I mean, yeah.
He's an old guy.
He did have a better year than he did the year before when he only had 3 touchdowns. So, and when Chicago signed him, I was like, man, they paid him that much. And
but could part of that be because they were like starting Foles and Trubisky, which both sucked last year, and they were checking it down a lot?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I need to look into that before I make that accusation. But
Foles is like a big priority to the tight end. Usually, that's how he's used to in Philadelphia and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I got a question. It's not fantasy related, but Nick Foles, where do they go with him? What did they do with him?
He's the most expensive third string quarterback you got.
I mean,
they get rid of him. I don't know that anybody's going to trade for his contract.
I was going to say, you got to either trade him or sayonara, adios. I would think.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how much of a cap hit they would get if they let him
release
go.
him.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe
you don't see many teams wanting to trade for him.
You know? I mean, does someone like Denver trade for him, or they just let Drew Lock and?
They already got They don't want a third conundrum, which won't even be that much of a.
Wait till injury happens.
It wouldn't really add much flavor to the team that they already have anyway.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think of teams.
All right, boys. Let's. We done with the Bears?
The Bears. That's all I got to say about them.
Yeah.
Let's
moving on.
Unfortunately, Shane's not here, but let's talk Lions, guys.
Ooh.
Let's start with
Lions.
So new coaching staff there. Dan Quinn is the new head coach, former tight end. I know he played for Miami. I forget who else he played for. So let's jump to what they did in the draft real quick. In the number 7 overall pick, the offensive lineman Sewell from Oregon. He went to 7. I don't think anybody had him really. Oh, a lot of people didn't have him falling that far, but he did.
It's because Cincinnati took Jamar Chase.
Correct.
Yep. Exactly.
Correct. So, and then other fantasy relevant, they took Amon Ra St. Brown in the 4th round, wide receiver to USC.
Yeah.
What a good name.
Yeah. Yes.
7th round, they took Oregon State running back Jamar Jefferson. So that's what again, fantasy relevant stuff they did in the draft. Let's go, and of course, their new quarterback is now Jared Goff.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either, guys.
I don't hate it.
No, he actually 67% passing, which was the highest of his career. So I mean, that's one way to look at it.
I just that the breakup that happened with him and McVay was just so
weird,
abrupt.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It just.
Well, he was never McVay's guy. He was drafted by Jeff the Swindler Fisher, and so. Yeah,
and then it got put out in public, like sometimes you gotta let things like stay in house, and it got out in public, basically like, he's not our guaranteed number 1 guy. So,
I mean, I had read somewhere that it was about his ability to evolve with the offense, that his skill set and what they wanted to do weren't going in the same direction. Which makes sense. You definitely would cut somebody loose if that were the case. But yeah, it was very abrupt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
was Goff the first pick overall.
Yeah. Yep. Gary's boy Carson was the 2nd pick after that. So.
Well, I mean, I think what they did the right move in getting Penny Sewell. I mean that. Solidifies a lot. They got Frank Ragnow at center, Taylor Decker at left tackle. I mean, not Vaitai. I think he played for the Eagles before. He's at right guard. I mean, right now, Pro Football Focus has him at 10th for offensive line, and I mean that's pretty solid for them.
The Lions.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you want out of your team to make sure they're good in the trenches. I mean, that's the best way to start. Then you can put everything else on the outside. I mean, obviously, this team does not have great wide receivers on the outside. They got a stout tight end for years to come. But I mean, this wide receiver crew is obviously bottom of the barrel compared to most teams in this whole league. But I mean, it's the way you wanted to go. I mean, I think they made the better choice of going that route with offensive linemen than what Cincinnati did. Because Cincinnati, if they're not, they got to fucking have Joe Burrow out for another ACL tear. There goes your franchise QB.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, just because you wanted to get a wide receiver that he's somewhat accustomed to back in college, or I mean, possibly. I mean, he didn't even play 2020 at all.
Yeah. I mean, and DeAndre Swift is your guy. DeAndre Swift is your franchise guy, so someone's got to block for him.
Yeah. I mean, I think this coaching staff knows to go. I mean, just like he said, he wants to fucking bite kneecaps off or something.
But biting kneecaps off.
Yes. I mean, what you start with is start through the trenches. Is your trenches good? Because that's what starts the snap of the football on both sides. Once those are solidified, you can throw anything else on the outside. And Jared Goff, man, like we were talking about, is not he went to the Super Bowl. I mean, he's played there. I mean, it's even though it's going from McVay to, maybe Anthony Lynn, who's somewhat trying to tailor this to Goff's strengths. But we've seen Stafford throw anywhere between close to 550 attempts a year. So, I mean, we'll probably see that out of Goff, which could make some of these wide receivers viable. They're not really the sexiest of names, but.
No, and he threw it 552 times last year. So, and like I said, 67%. I mean, that's nothing to yawn about.
Right. I mean, he's going to make one of these wide receivers viable if it's not just going to be Hawkinson or maybe DeAndre Swift in the backfield.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody we got to pick who, guys. DraftKings has the over under on Goff passing at 4,050 in 1/2 yard.
That's attainable.
Yeah.
That's the one I probably will not go over on.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Gary. I think I'm leaning the under.
That's the only one.
I think he throws. So you're saying that you think he throws for under 4,050 yards?
Yeah.
With this team,
I say yes.
I
say yes because of extra game. Because of the extra game, I'll say yes.
4,000 yards is not easy. Now, I mean,
no, I know it's not.
I'm just looking at the offensive coordinator and Anthony Lynn and how many times they chose to throw with Herbert.
How much did Stafford throw here last year?
Well, it's a different coaching staff, but I mean, Stafford threw it 528 times.
Well, what was his yardage?
4,084.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to hit it, even with an extra game.
To contradict myself, though, I do think garbage time could come in a lot with the Lions because
that's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Right, but I mean, we've seen this with the Lions for how many years now? Every year.
True. Could the
I mean, we're talking about a team that does not have Galladay or Marvin Jones anymore, too. So, obviously, Galladay only played 5 games last year, but
here's something for you. I know y'all. I'm pretty sure everybody here likes Hawkinson, right? I mean, you see the upside.
Yeah.
What about Darren Fells?
Right.
He's a big guy. He's like 6'11" billion.
Yeah.
He was the only viable tight end in Houston, where tight ends go to die, for 3 years.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they did a lot of
2 tight end sets.
Yeah, so 12 personnel.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I guess my attack on this is that I don't love their wide receivers at all. The only one that I actually like is Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I think that's because he has potential for punt return, kick return, receiving, maybe even being used in things like jet sweeps, things like that. I think he has the most upside to what he can do out of everybody there. Brashad Perriman has had some weird years, He didn't get it done with the Jets. He showed a little bit of promise with Tampa Bay.
That's where
That's where he even got that contract from.
Yeah.
And then Tyrell Williams, God, I love Raider Ty, but Tyrell Williams hasn't really had a meaningful run with a lot of fantasy and stuff since he was with the Chargers. So it's just there's not a lot to like at wide receiver there for me, and maybe Quintez Cephas comes in.
Well, it's kind of I'm kind of curious to see like what Anthony Lynn can do with him coming off from Justin Herbert being in San Diego as well. And I mean, we're used to Goff playing with Sean McVay, who fucking uses all that smoke screen stuff all the time, and he's in his earphones and like in his helmet until like what is it? I think it's like after the 16th seconds or left. That's when the head coach can't talk to you in your earbuds or something like that.
Right.
So I wonder if this is like, I mean, because we've seen that from McVay with Goff. Like, is this going to be different this way to where Goff is going to head this team? If he needs to do an audible, is he going to make the audible? As in comparison what Sean McVay's done. Because, I mean, that gives you a lot more confidence because, I mean, to me at least, like I'm doing this, not my head coach on the sideline. If I see something, I'm going to make that effort. And maybe this could make, I'm not saying he's going to be fucking a top 16 quarterback at all. Not even a top 20. But I mean, it's just something that I think can gain him confidence and maybe keep his job going through next year if they don't, maybe possibly get a quarterback.
Well, like what it is to put a round peg in a square hole, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I think that they're going to build the offense to Goff's strengths as opposed to making Goff go to the offense. Like how sometimes coordinators like Adam Gase, he's a perfect person for this. Their system isn't the problem. It's the people running my system that's the problem. My system's good. I've heard it out of a lot of coordinators through the years. Most of the time when you get the best results, it's when you but when you design your offense to the strengths of a player and then run a lot of different things off of that. And I think that Jared Goff is good with bootleg. And I think that would benefit them tremendously to run that. I don't know that they will. But right. I've heard from Lynn and I've read that they are trying to build a offense around his skills, not make him learn an offense. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. In comparison, Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers already knows what he's doing.
Right.
You're building off of what he does all the time, but you're feeding off of his attributes. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it too. What is Goff good at? And obviously, it's something that Anthony Lynn is a running backs coach anyway.
Correct.
So he's obviously going to make sure Swift and Jamal Williams are going to be.
And I could actually see them being a really good 1-2 punch.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It could be
and I think the
New Orleans situation. It could be a New Orleans situation in a way.
Yeah, totally.
Guys, let's talk Swift. We talked a little, but we didn't dive deep into Swift, guys. So obviously, first round pick last year? His rookie season was last. Sorry, we should know this. But anyways, he dealt with AP there, yet with carry both of those guys being gone frees up 200 rushing attempts. Essentially, again, different coaching system, but
second round, third pick.
Yeah, second round. Yeah, he's close.
Which pretty much might as well be the first round.
Yeah. So again, 200 rushing attempts freed up. Again, new coaching staff, but this is all Swift. They did add Jamal Williams from Green Bay, who is, I think he had 100 and.
He's going to get some looks.
Yeah,
yeah.
How many Jamal Williams?
119.
Yeah, 119 carries last year. So he's definitely going to dive into Swift's, share. But I don't see how Swift can't get. 300 attempts is probably going to be pushing it. But
He should be able to get 250.
250, yeah, 250,
Yeah.
280-ish.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
I mean,
250
Yeah.
as a light side, 280 maybe is. I'd say
'Cause
300 probably the max side.
yeah,
But
Because you can't not put in Jamal Williams. I mean, all 4 years he's been in the league, he's had 100 points fantasy wise, and he caught 31 of 35 targets. So I mean, yeah, I think DeAndre Swift gets 250, but Jamal Williams is not going to be a absentee in this offense.
yeah, and Swift no slouch in the passing game either. Last year he caught 47, 57, which I mean that's shit. That ain't bad.
no,
Not at all. Not at all.
It's pretty damn
So
efficient.
I like that. Swift's over and under right now is 850 and 1/2 yard rushing, just rushing.
Oh,
Yeah.
just rushing?
Over.
I think he can hit that.
I mean, he had 521 last year on 114 attempts, and we're saying he's going to double that easy, right?
Yeah. Because you got to think 4.6 yards per carry last year. He gets, you said 850, right?
Yeah.
So that's like 190 carries. So by 190, if he can stick with what he had 4.6, by 190, 200 carries, he'll have 850.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to go like with what Morrig said earlier with Darren Fells. Like, I mean, I think that's a good idea for that goal line to be like a 2 tight end theme. To where I think DeAndre Swift can get a lot of. It sucks too because you don't know how often this team is going to be in a red zone at all. Like, but I can see when they are. I mean, that's pretty solidified for DeAndre Swift. And even Jamal Williams, whoever's going to be carrying the ball inside the 10.
Yeah.
5. I mean, because if this team, like they're saying, Pro Football Focus is a top 10 offensive line for the league, then I can definitely see these guys at least. I mean, especially with Darren Fells helping with blocking too, and fucking Hawkinson is no slouch, dude. That's something he's fucking great in, which makes him a great tight end. Like, it's just something that we can see, even the play action, like Morgan said, with the bootleg. I mean, that's something like good in that respect as well. So, I mean, this team, I mean, it's all about them. Are they going to push the football down the field? And doesn't make any kind of, I don't know, fantasy aspect for these guys. But can I ask this question? Do you guys like DeAndre Swift this season or Austin Eckler?
That's tough, dude. I mean,
that's a good one. That's a good one. I like DeAndre Swift better from a running standpoint. I feel like you can run more running plays than Austin Eckler. Yeah, I like DeAndre Swift's game better than Austin Eckler.
I've got Swift over Eckler.
That's a good question.
I got Eckler over Swift. 5.
I'll take Larry Roundtree.
For 500, please.
But I think I would actually go Eckler over Swift for this year. But I think in Dynasty, I'd rather have Swift.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
Well, for redraft, would you go Najee Harris or Swift?
Najee.
I think I'm going to do that too. I got to switch.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get a ton of work.
So I think I'm probably going to put Antonio Gibson ahead of Swift too.
I mean, who else do they have?
I'd take Gibson over Swift. Absolutely.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm on that train.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the whole train.
Did we? All right. So we talked about wide receivers. How kind of bleak this is. I mean, I think we kind of said St. Brown, the rookie, is moving the needle for us.
I hope so. I hope he starts.
Any other guys that
he's probably the quickest way from 6 to 12, if you know what I mean. So
yeah. All right, and going into, next month is August. It's draft month, redraft month.
Mm-hmm.
If you're drafting any of these guys? Is it Amon-Ra? Is there anybody else that you're going after?
Wide receivers?
Yes.
No.
I love Ty. No.
Hell to the no.
I think Brashad Perriman's a trap. I'll go ahead and throw that out there.
It's a trap.
Trap.
You know, honestly, I bet you could get Tyrell Williams for a super late pick, probably.
Yeah.
And when he's on, he's not bad. You know, I forget where I read it, but I'm pretty sure that I read that actually, believe it or not, Goff was one of the more accurate deep ball throwers last year.
He's not bad. He's not bad at all. Plus, I mean, if you're looking at Rashad Perryman and Tyrell Williams, you stretch the field.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I still think that they're going to do. I don't know that that's necessarily their game, unless if they can get that running game opened up, then yeah, they're definitely going to be able to stretch the field.
I would take, even though Tyrell didn't play a year, I would probably take Tyrell over Brashard.
Yeah, me too. Based off of like just how they sit on the depth chart currently, you'd probably get Tyrell for a better. He'd be more worth your pick than Brashad Perriman, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, y'all can bring the receipts. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't disagree with it.
What's the time stamp on this podcast,
man? We're bringing out receipts for Tyrell Williams.
All right, I think the last thing to kind of talk about is Hockenson, guys. And again, we kind of addressed it for a second, but I mean, where are you guys putting him as in your tight end rankings? I guess he's I mean, in my opinion, number one option or whatever.
He's a tight end one.
Yeah, I got him. 5 for sure.
Where did he finish last year?
Number 5. He was the 5th overall.
Fifth overall.
I go with top 5.
I have him right outside of my top.
All right, so do you like Kyle Pitts, Hockenson, or Mark Andrews more?
Oh man!
I got it. Well, if you go
rank those 3. Everybody rank those 3.
Food.com, Andrews, Pitts, Hockenson. My rankings.
I will go Hockenson, Pitts, and Andrews.
I'm gonna say Andrews, Pitt, Hockenson. Pitts, Hockenson. Begrudgingly.
I did Pitts, Hockenson, Andrews.
Okay.
Because I mean, obviously Julio's going. That's why I put Pitts up more. Hockenson the same as 5. Put Mark Andrews back because I mean that whole when they drafted what's his name? That wide receiver. Why am I drawing?
Rashad Bateman.
Rashad Bateman, who could pretty much play any part of the field. So he's gonna.
Yeah, but see now they actually have wide receivers, which should help him.
Yeah, because he could play in the middle of the field and he could play on the sideline. That's why I think
Andrews still holds his red zone value though. We're not talking about the North end.
That's why I don't put Goddard, Tanyan, Fant in front of him at all.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to expand upon or to ruminate on.
Yeah.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Detroit Rock City got a lot of airtime here today.
Kiss.
Yes.
Kid Rock. Kid Rock came from Michigan. Yay.
All right, boys.
Mainly Detroit.
Eminem.
Ball with the ball.
Lions, Dunzo. Let's. I mean, this one's a big.
This is
a big one. The Packers, guys.
Big talking point. This is going to take the next hour of the podcast. Buckle up.
We're brought to you by.
Go ahead and get you another beer.
So let's be honest, and starting with quarterback, of course. I mean, on fantasy repercussions, and I mean, this whole team, whatever happens with Aaron Rodgers, it's gonna affect everything.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say, really.
Yeah. It honestly could straight up trash three dynasty teams for me this year.
It could be like the year that the Colts lost Peyton Manning and had to play with like Curtis Painter. And
I'll look at you.
There's a name.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other quarterbacks that were on that team, but Curtis Painter comes to mind. I'm sure there's other scenarios, but that's the one that comes into mind.
Hey guys, so I was looking at something earlier today. Obviously, I've been looking at the offensive lines for each team. So Green Bay has been like top 3 for Pro Football Focus the past 3 to 4 years. Mm-hmm. And they were number 2 in 2020. So Now they have him at number 15 because Corey Lindsey's gone at center, and right tackle Rick Wagner is gone. Plus, they don't know really. I think Elton Jenkins might play left guard. Maybe Josh Myers might. He's the second round pick. Might play center. So, I mean, obviously, you got David Bakhtiari, who fucking. Did you guys see him chug all that beer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kills it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
That's a
killing
man.
it the other night
That's a man.
for the Milwaukee Bucks.
He can chug a beer faster than A-Rod.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if that's something that Rodgers felt was like, this is going to detriment my offensive line. Why put myself in trouble? Kind of too. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't think the offensive line is I mean, it might. I don't know.
I mean, to me, it's kind of, I mean, obviously this happened where we've heard the whole news come out about Rodgers wanting to be traded right around the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
The day of, I think.
I'm sure he already knew Corey Lindsey was going and Rick Wagner at right tackle. That's true of your structured offensive line, where you got to bring in a second rounder that you have no idea out of. And Billy Turner had to replace Rick Wagner. That's my only thought. I mean, I thought it was just like fuel to the fire for what he already is just like in hatred of for the, the men upstairs for Green Bay.
The men in suits.
Yes.
I mean, I think though if he plays, I don't think it'll be a massive drop off. But I mean, it's hard to 48 touchdowns, 5 INTs, 51 touchdowns total. I mean, that's tough to duplicate. But
I think
they're good.
And look at in the NFC Championship too. They got manhandled by Tampa Bay. And what happened with Tampa Bay on the offseason? Everybody re-signed for less money.
Yeah.
So now you're looking at him trying to be like, I'm doing it all for our team. Brady has just about – what if fucking Aaron Rodgers had Godwin, Mike Evans, fucking Antonio Brown, any tight end he wanted to choose out of those three?
Not to mention a viable 1-2 punch at running back as well.
Right. I mean, although A.J. Dillon and I admit A.J. Dillon and fucking Aaron Jones are pretty stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying the overall scope of the team is different because they got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, but they got fucking Devontae Adams and that's it.
Yeah. And like,
I mean, I know Lazard was somewhat viable, but it's not the same as having Godwin and Evans and Antonio Brown.
No, not at all.
Right. So, I mean, and they always pass up on wide receiver too. And I mean, it's just, I mean, I like Robert Tonyan, but I mean, what's his name? Like Jay Sternberger didn't amount to nothing. They got Mercedes.
Jermichael Finley.
If the Devin would be anything.
That one out there. Yeah. See,
Mercedes Lewis is down to a blocking tight end / red zone tight end.
That's because he was born in the year of our Lord, 33 BC.
So I guess there's so many ways we could take this.
I'm sorry. It was just like some things I like to point out.
Off track, but
no, that's good.
Nobody knows, but I mean, the guy's 37. He's like, where's my career going to go from here? That's what I think. Although he's kind of yes too.
It's been 10 years since the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Been
there since then.
So you got to figure if it's been 10 years, it's been a decade, your window's only getting smaller.
Right.
And
but where else
is he
going to go besides what, Denver maybe? People keep talking Denver because they got weapons. I mean, where else is he going to go? You know,
man. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but would you hate going to Washington?
No, don't tell Cobby that.
I don't think it'll ever happen, but
my God.
But the defense is good and there's good weapons there, you know. So that's kind of the gig. You're looking for a win now situation if you go anywhere.
The only problem is if Washington was a trade for him, you're gonna have to get rid of somebody like a Montez Sweat. You're gonna have to give somebody up, somebody really good.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that one.
That's why I thought don't get me wrong, the Eagles can do it because they got 3 first rounds, but I think they're eyeing up Deshaun Watson if his game. I did hear that.
That would be mind blowing.
I mean, what if
you heard that from Schefter, right? The other day?
You said Deshaun to Philadelphia?
Yeah, Deshaun to Philadelphia is pretty possible.
Oh wow, how about that?
No, I
That's like
didn't.
a day. You guys, it's like a day or two.
I don't know.
I've heard Miami before, but
I'm a working man. I got no time for Twitter.
Hey guys, all right, guys. Let's go. Let's circle back. Obviously, Devontae Adams is. I mean,
the man.
Splitting hairs.
Yeah,
he's in your top 5. No
I mean, him and Tyreek are probably my 1-2 easy.
Yeah.
And I would probably put Tyreek ahead of him, but it could change in August.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Especially if Rodgers doesn't come in.
I don't know. I think I got Devontae as number 1.
Yeah.
The 18 touchdowns.
Well, I don't hate that. It's just hard.
Oh yeah.
You know how it is. It's hard to repeat.
Yeah. So
anyways.
I don't know. So say Rodgers doesn't play. I mean, how far down would you drop him?
If he doesn't play,
he don't get 18
I still think
touchdowns. I'll tell you that much.
He's still He's still in the top 10 to me, even without Rodgers. I think.
Yeah, I can go with that.
I think his work ethic is solid, and I think that his route running is good enough, and his twitches are insane, dude.
Yeah, I could see him being a top 10. I just won't draft him as a top 10.
Yeah. I guess
obviously everybody will fall on him. If I'll take him in the late second at that point, because we know he's not going to be a top 5. Can we say that much?
No,
not without Rodgers.
No, there's too many good receivers in this league.
That's a top 5 wide receiver is basically going to get you to the early second, right? Should we say for the most part, that's where you get like a top 5.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, maybe on the turn of the 12-team league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd go with top 10.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then I guess with or without Rodgers, they did that. Yeah. So they did add Amari Rodgers from Clemson in the 3rd round. So they did draft a wide receiver. So that streak has ended. And then in the 7th round, they drafted Mississippi State running back Kylan Hill. So MVS is still there. Equinemius is still there, I believe.
Yep, he is.
Amari Rodgers. Are you guys? I mean,
Alan Lazard.
Lazard. Are you guys messing with any other Green Bay wide receiver?
No. Because Devin Funchess hasn't really played in 2 years. Since 2018, I don't know.
I kind of feel like
no.
Did I talk over you, Ty? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I actually think that Kylan Hill might have a little bit of receiving potential for a running back.
Replacing Jamal Williams.
Mm-hmm. And especially if Aaron Jones was to get injured, I think he would take a lot of the passing work that Jones is going to get.
Mm-hmm.
No, that doesn't answer your question. The honest answer to your question is no. I don't want anybody else.
Yeah,
pretty much. I would take a chance on Amari Rodgers, but again, in a startup draft, I don't think I would draft him early because he's unproven. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Understood.
But I definitely think the upside's there.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to running backs, and obviously Aaron Jones has been a name that we've already thrown around a little bit. So he missed 2 games last year, 14 games. He just had a skosh over 200 attempts. He had 201, went for 1,104 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, caught 47 passes for 335 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Jamal Williams now leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think Aaron Jones, so with Jamal Williams leaving, again, he frees up 119 carries. Guys, they drafted A.J. Dillon last year who had 46 carries, which whatever. It is what it is. I mean, it's something.
Well, the 46 carries is a little scary because one game he had like 24 carries, I think, or maybe it was like 22, but that's like where half of those carries came from.
Yeah.
And we all know that game.
Yeah, but he still did he still did something with it, 242 yards. I mean, that's 5 yards a pop. So
yeah.
He was one of. I'll be honest with you, he was my favorite running back in the draft last year. I know there was Jonathan Taylor or my guy Zach Moss, but he was my favorite running back, at least from my team. You know, like 6'1", 250, and still ran relatively fast. I mean, he was one of my favorite running backs in the draft. I was mad when they drafted him, but I think I think he gets 100 carries.
I'm with you, dude. I totally agree. I feel like AJ Dillon almost is
got flex value, flex appeal.
Definitely he's definitely in the sleeper category to me, in my opinion. With the attempts, Aaron Jones got 200. I think AJ Dillon 120. I think is definitely feasible. And especially if Rodgers doesn't play. I feel like this must be a rushing rush first team.
Yeah. The other thing too is we're in a 17-game season. I know we keep talking about this, but I feel like teams that have backs like AJ Dillon are going to try and grind you at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you're going to be worn out, and then that's when they're really going to play him, I think. I think he'll get play all season long. You don't get to 100 targets or 100 touches unless you're playing all year. Right. But I think that he has potential to be a late season league winner.
Yeah.
And that cold weather.
Josh, to look on that one, y'all.
You did.
And the cold weather. That's what teams do. You run the ball.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go back to, I got to throw my DraftKings in there. Aaron Jones rushing over under 1,050 and 1/2 yard.
Yeah. I'm gonna take under.
All right. I like it.
I feel it's a little bit it's 50 yards less than what he had last year.
I'll take.
But yeah, he's gonna have 2 more games if he's healthy. He should be able to do it.
Yeah, 3 more.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It should be 3 more games. Yeah, I'll take the over on that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ty.
No worries.
Okay, so
this whole 18-game season is gonna.
It's gonna take adjusting, guys.
It's gonna fuck up. It's gonna fuck up the 1,000-yard rushers we anticipate every season.
I think if any crazy record falls, there needs to be an asterisk. I already said that.
Well, but you're gonna have not really saying he's gonna do it, but Damian Williams. No, I'm sorry, Damian. No, what's his name? I'm trying to think. Damian Harris.
Yeah.
1,000 yards. Somebody who always outskirts the 1,000 yards, but doesn't really make it. But that extra game gives it to him.
Give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're in the 1,000 yard club.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it's just gonna be weird.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right, let's jump to tight end. Robert Tonyan. Dude came out of nowhere last year. Caught 52 passes for 11 touchdowns, guys.
Woo. That's steep.
And only 59 targets.
Right out of nowhere.
No, that's efficiency.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Matter of fact, it's hyper efficient, which leads me to believe there's going to be regression to the mean.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like he's in the tight end ones. I got him as 11. Gary's got him as
8.
Number 8.
I'd put him in the top 10. Yeah, absolutely. 586 yards. That's pretty good these days for a tight end.
I'm with you.
Can he still put up those types of numbers without Aaron Rodgers?
No.
It's worth noting he's 27. I love 27s. They're good.
Yeah, but he's a 27-year-old that hasn't been beaten up like some of these guys have been.
Correct. It's not like a 27-year-old Jordan Reed.
Like your boy, like your boy Logan Thomas is 30 years old, but he's never been the guy.
Right. And even when he was quarterback and he wasn't taking but so much abuse.
Yeah. So, the 27, and only been the guy for 1 year, that doesn't bother me, or that doesn't worry me at all.
Yeah, I can feel you on that.
So, but yeah, without Aaron, he doesn't put up those stats, and that's not a knock on him. That's a knock on Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Yes, I concur.
So let's play a little game.
Ooh.
Do you guys like Tanyan better or Logan Thomas?
I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna have to change my rankings.
I was looking at the exact same thing.
I might have to if Aaron Rodgers does not play for Green Bay.
So yeah. So with Aaron Rodgers, I'll go Tanyan. Without Aaron Rodgers, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'll probably drop Tanyan 5 spots if Rodgers isn't on the team.
Yep.
Tanyan.
What about
reluctantly?
Tanyan? What about Tanyan or Evan Ingram?
Evan Ingram.
1 touchdown last year.
Evan Ingram has been. I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to regret this, but Evan Ingram is an elite prospect. He's got all the tools necessary. He's just not been healthy.
Right.
I think that if he can be healthy, he has a better season for sure.
Right, but Daniel Jones is your quarterback.
All right. So on that note,
but I agree. I like Evan Ingram's athletic as hell.
Yeah.
But Daniel Jones is your quarterback, and he can't, like you just said, he can't stay healthy. But yeah, from a talent standpoint, he's one of the better tight ends on a talent standpoint.
Right.
But
so I suppose the angle I'm taking this is that sometimes you have to make bold decisions if you want to win.
Right.
And sometimes that even like goes against what you actually would normally do, because a safe play may not get you the win, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
I still think all right, so if Rodgers isn't there, I definitely have Ingram above him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
but if Rodgers is there, Tanyan above him too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
God, I wish he would be. I wish him and OJ Howard would be healthy. Both of them. They could both be okay.
OJ Howard's another talented tight end that just can't stay healthy.
Yep.
Njoku.
And don't even remember Eric Brick Hands Ebron?
Yeah.
It took him.
Yeah, I have him on my
going.
team. Yeah, I have him on my team. I know.
All right, boys. Anything else on the pack? I mean, I just feel like, I mean, we can talk about them, but it's just I don't know. So the Rodgers thing gets figured out. It's not worth.
I guess one other thing. How far up the ladder do you see Amari Rodgers going? I mean, can you see him being the number 2 opposite of Devontae, or you think that's MVS or Lazard?
I don't think MVS and Lazard's done anything to like. I mean,
Gary says no.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
Amari Rodgers is like what, in the 4th round?
He was in
third.
He was the 3rd, yeah.
You usually don't see any like 3rd, even 2nd round. Sometimes wide receivers pan out within the first year. They might have some complementary, they might complement the team at some point, but like they will not be like a standout wide receiver. He's not going to be the wide receiver 2 for that team.
I mean, Adams got almost 150 targets last year. It's just hard to.
It's hard to replicate that.
I guess I asked because, like Josh said, MVS and Lazard haven't really supplanted themselves as that opposite number 2. They deserve to be the number 3 and the 4, but they haven't
which is something that you should think about when you have Amari Rodgers in there. You're going to see him do a timeshare between those other 2 guys. Isn't Allen Lazard and MVS, so I think it's going to be a timeshare. It's not going to be a legitimate
number 2
wide receiver 2.
I got you.
Unless we see something throughout him with OTAs into him being in preseason, I don't really see it.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, say you phase out MVS and Lazard, that's 100 targets. Which,
yeah,
I mean,
that's 1,100 yards, 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, who's not taking that
all day, every day.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's no more, no pack, no. Let's go to our last team of the night, the Minnesota Vikings. In the draft, I think the O-line would always get kind of shit upon. So in the
Christian Darrisaw.
Darrisaw, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech in the first round. In the third round, they took maybe the quote unquote heir apparent to Kirk Cousins. They took Kellen Mond, quarterback at Texas A&M. In the Gary, I need you. In the fourth round, running back Iowa State.
Say it.
Is it Kenny Nagwanyu? Somebody help me.
You could just ask me to say it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Who? Kene Nagwanyu. You're good.
There you go. See, that's what I said. and then in the fifth, they took Emir Smith-Marset. Got that one. In the fifth, out of wide receiver out of Iowa. And then in the fifth, out of Central Mississippi State, tight end Zach Davidson.
Big signing right there, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so those guys are now on the Vikings, as we just stated. Guys, Kirk Cousins, he 35 touchdowns, career high last year.
Yep.
That was the sixth most in the NFL, and then also he threw for 4,265 yards, which is the eighth most in the NFL last year. I mean, I never would have thought that.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean, it does help. You have Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. I mean, that does kind of help too. But yeah, I didn't know he put up numbers like that.
Yeah,
at least a touchdown standpoint. Yards maybe because of Justin Jefferson, but touchdowns, yeah, I would have never thought that. But then again, Thielen had 14 touchdowns, so that helps a lot too. Anyways,
Oh yeah, Thielen has been one of those guys.
Hey guys, so what do you when it comes to Dalvin Cook, where do you rank him at running back this season?
Redraft?
Mm-hmm. Two.
He's a 2 behind McCaffrey as of right now.
1.
Yeah. Oh, more.
Ooh,
I
say 2.
I like it.
But this is why y'all don't have my rankings yet.
Which is why I find this. Which is why I find this interesting, because last year Minnesota's offensive line was ranked 26.
Yeah.
And now they're still ranked 26th. Like, I mean, they had Christian Darrisaw at left tackle that they got, but I mean, obviously, I mean, it's not pushed. I mean, it's so funny to like us to think like, you know, this offensive line is ranked this, that, and the other. But I mean, obviously, it's not that much of a factor for running back sometimes when you have somebody like Dalvin Cook. I mean, Saquon Barkley, you can see, like, I mean, obviously the New York Giants are ranked in the latter part for the offensive line too, which when how do you guys see that? Like, I mean, when we think like number one running backs, you want the top tier offensive line, right?
I mean, I think it was more so to protect Kirk Cousins because they've been trying to replace Riley Reif, their left tackle, for so many years.
Wait, is that the porn star?
Aha!
but yeah, they've been looking. It's all good. They've been looking for that blindside tackle, and I think Christian Darrisaw is a beast. But I mean, Dalvin Cook still averaged 5 yards a carry, and Alex Madison averaged, I believe, 4.4. So I think that was more so to protect Kirk from getting killed. No, I think even if they were ranked 26, obviously Dalvin Cook wasn't affected by it.
Right, because I mean, I think like even this is why we always say PPR value is a big thing, because I mean, you had Derrick Henry who got over 2,000 yards just rushing, whereas I mean in receiving, I mean Shit, dude. Dalvin Cook. 44
1900.
I mean, 44 catches for 361 is pretty good. It's pretty stout. It's not Kamara stout, but I mean, it's pretty damn decent. But he also got like over 300 touches. I mean, 300 rushing.
But Kamara's not running like Cook though, as far as between the tackles.
Right, absolutely. Because I mean, Kamara did not even have 1,000 yards rushing last year.
Yeah,
it was all. I mean, he pretty much had the same receiving yards as rushing yards last year. So I mean, that's what like stands out between like, the Kamaras from the Cooks. I mean, that's why Christian McCaffrey is like yin and yang on both for when it comes to rushing and receiving yards. So I mean, when you got somebody like Antonio Gibson, who could probably be somebody like that, Joe Mixon, somebody like Austin Eckler, if they get like the yin and the yang for that too, I mean, they're going to be in that top 5. Saquon Barkley. I mean, just Jonathan Taylor. That's why I push him down so far, because he's not going to be in the pass catching that much. And he's definitely not going to run anything like Derrick Henry ran before, for sure, too, even with that offensive line. So, I mean, that's why we're saying, like, with Jonathan Taylor, we're all going to put him. Most people want to put him in the top 5. But you got Dalvin Cook, who's fucking kicking ass at a 26th ranked offensive line. You know what I'm saying?
I like Jonathan Taylor, but no, not top 5. I think he's going to be a stud, but not top 5. But I got Cook number 2 personally.
Top 5 in redraft?
Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about just top 5 running backs.
I mean, most people would put him in top 5.
I got him as 4.
I'd put him all the way down to 12, probably.
Yeah, I would keep him in the top 10, but
You got him a 9er.
I'm gonna put him down more.
I'm gonna put him down. All right.
Give it time.
But
like, dude, this is like 3 weeks,
negotiated.
4 weeks old, or ranking. So I'm gonna put him back down more.
But Gary's right. He's not much in the passing game. But yeah, I got Cook number 2, going back to Dalvin.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, Dalvin's obviously the guy. Would you guys even think that Madison had 96 carries? He almost got 100 carries. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean,
because he's a good backup though.
Yeah.
He's I would dare say he's one of the better backups in the league.
So one of those games he started in place of Cook. So that probably
missed 2.
So he had 2 games. So that probably accounts for like 25 to 30 touches right there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
they were splitting it with him and Mike Boone a little bit through that stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see Madison getting no more. I don't know. Shit.
The last week of the season, he had 21 carries. He had 12 versus Detroit. He had
21 carries week 17.
Yeah, 21.
I mean, he would have had 75 before.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
So I'll say between 75 and 100 this year.
We'll probably get 100, 105. I would bet 105, 110 touches. I mean, rushing attempts.
So Dalvin, I guess
with another. I'm sorry.
Weeks 5 and 6. Those must have been the games that Dalvin missed. He had week 5 against Seattle. He had 20 carries. And then 6, he had 10 carries. And then, like I said, 12.
So that was pretty spot on. I said it accounted for 30 carries.
Yeah. And then at the end of the season, last game of the season against Detroit, 21 carries, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. So yeah. But I mean, obviously, he can.
He can do it.
He can put up when
he can do it. Yeah, he can. Yep.
So I mean, but all right, guys. Yeah. So Dalvin Cook 1,557 yards. Again, he missed 2 games. I mean, add those 2 games.
It's a shame.
And he's averaging. What did he average? 111 yards per game. Still not. I mean, nipping at Derrick Henry's numbers from last year, but still not there, guys.
Yep. So, but he's getting better every year. He's gotten better.
Yeah.
Every year. I mean, and it's astronomically better.
Yeah. So guys, we got Dalvin there. Like we said, he's top 3, I think 5 for all of us. I mean, no need to go on to that, guys. Let's go to the wide receivers. We got Justin Jefferson as a rookie coming out of nowhere and just blowing the freaking volcano shitload on everybody. 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns. And then you got Thielen, who 2019 wasn't very good to him. He was injured a lot. But he came back and caught 74 catches, 925 yards, but 14 touchdown guys. So he doubled Jefferson in touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. Scott's. Cousins aired it out.
That's a big factor. Like, I mean, if Jefferson can keep the same yardage, because he's really good after the catch. But if he can keep the same yardage and actually flip flop with Thielen and touchdowns, what is that? 7 times 6, 42. So I mean, that's 42 more points that we actually have than usual, which would probably bump him up a couple spots than what he was actually at number 6 last year in fantasy points. It could probably bump him to number 3. I mean, if he gets that zone targets, let alone touchdowns.
The window for them, Minnesota, the window is now for them to do something because, I mean, Kirk Cousins is 32, 33. We're already talking like Kellen Mond is the air replacement. And then Adam Thielen's 30, 31. So Kirk Cousins and them boys, they got no excuses but to win. And Dalvin Cook. I mean, they have the pieces.
I'm with you. As far as Jefferson goes, he got 125 targets. Going back to Devontae Adams, who is some people's wide receiver 1 right now. I mean, he got 149 targets. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know.
He can easily get 150 targets this season.
150?
Yeah. He'll definitely get 125, I think. Probably more.
I mean, the bar set high.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
that's almost 8 targets a game. So another game, you're looking at like 135 targets. I think at least 135.
Plus, Cousins only had 516 passing attempts this season. I could see him going over 550 for sure.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like it's, in my opinion, splitting hairs. I don't know. I mean, with Dalvin again being as great as he is, Jefferson being, could he steal a couple of targets from Thielen? Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, he was a rookie, but I mean, as far as fantasy goes, I mean, you can't I don't know, you can't be mad at that, the numbers that he did, and if he continues to do numbers like that.
For a rookie, he had one of the best years.
If he keeps it up consistently for the next 6 years, I mean, whatever.
He won't be able to do that consistently. But like, I mean, I think he's going to be at least around that same tier. I mean, they've seen what they got out of him. I mean, he's surpassed Thielen. Like, I mean, he's going to be the guy. Like, I mean, he's going to be the one that's going to be targeted. I mean, he's going to be one with the double coverage at times, but I mean, it all depends how this team utilizes him.
I mean, I love me my Stephon Diggs, but he's going to be better than Stephon Diggs was at Minnesota.
I think it's pretty close between the two, dude. I still have Stephon Diggs. I had even though I got him ranked, like I got him like.
It's worth.
I think Stephon Diggs. I got him ranked where I got Michael Thomas.
It's worth noting that of the 7 touchdowns that Justin Jefferson did catch, they were all at home. He didn't catch a single touchdown on the road.
Who, Jefferson?
That's right. Yeah, good call.
So that's untapped potential right there.
Hey, there's no home like
home. It's true.
Yep.
Say no home like home?
No home like
home. No.
So heads up.
Hey.
All that different area codes, bro.
He's loyal. He's loyal to his fans.
So,
what you got?
no, I was just gonna say, do you like any other receivers besides these two? Because I don't like any of the other receivers.
You can't drink it. Jesus. I mean, if we want to transition, I think Irv Smith has sleeper value with Kyle Rudolph gone.
I think he's their number 3 option passing. I don't like any of the other receivers.
Oh, yeah, dude.
No, yeah, I'm with you.
I didn't realize he had 365 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like I thought he pulled like an Ian Thomas, like 6 catches, 100 some yards. I didn't realize Irv Thomas kind of did well considering he wasn't the starting tight end.
Well, they've been talking up Tyler Conklin, which is fine. Like, I mean, he's going to be the guy to help like mitigate that yardage or catches, what's not. But I think Irv Smith is going to surpass Conklin. It might not be like extraordinarily, like a lot between the two. But I mean, I think Irv Smith has the right to be at least on the cusp of being a top 12. And that's what I think. And like, I mean, he could be number 12. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and think about this too.
He's 22 years old, dude.
Yeah, he turns 23 in August.
He's already got 3 years in the league. 4.
This will be his 3rd year.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, a wide receiver from Alabama. The kid already knows a shit ton of fucking. I mean, blocking wise. I mean,
a shit ton of fucking, huh?
Yeah.
Classic.
Let me tell you.
My name is Buck.
But I mean, I could easily. I was just gonna say I could easily see him getting 65, 70 targets, maybe even. Yeah, I'd say about 65. Because if you add, I don't know what Rudolph had, but if you add Conklin and Smith, they had 69 targets between each other. I could see him getting 65 to 70 targets. Yeah, I said it, 69. I can see him getting 65 to 70 targets.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that for sure. 69 would be legit, but anything below 69 would be hella good.
We got an inverted 96 over here.
Yeah.
The hell?
Gary looks guilty as fuck after that.
Yeah.
I was stacking beer cans. I won't do that now.
Oh, Gary.
I think that's a good note. Let's end the Vikings on that note.
Yeah.
The raid is over. And that ends. That's it. That's the last of the division. I mean, that's the last. There's 4 teams. We're done.
Can we
division? What?
Can we? Y'all want to rank each team from 1 to 4?
As far as
like where y'all think they'll finish?
There's gonna have to be asterisks.
Oh, because of Aaron. Yeah.
Yes.
But all right, let's do with and without Aaron.
Okay. Without Aaron,
Vikings
will win the division.
I agree.
And the Bears will earn a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I think they're going to be good enough to get back in this year.
So
Vikings, Bears. No, I'll take Packers still as a 2.
Nope. Not without Aaron. Not a chance.
Lions last.
Yeah, Lions dead last. Shane, if you're listening, but you're not. But when you do, because you will.
No, I'll go Bears too.
Mm-hmm.
This is without.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings,
without
Bears, Packers, Lions.
I agree.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Final word.
Yeah, I can go with that.
I think the Bears take it, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Your silence is deafening.
Fucking Ford Ranger.
It's a
I think if Justin Fields actually takes reins after like week 3, because they already made the playoffs last year, and I think that defense is somewhat solid where they can take it. And I like the offense of Minnesota too. But I mean, obviously, I would put Minnesota number 2, and I would put Green Bay all the way in 3rd if they don't have Aaron Rodgers. I'll give it that much.
Let's just see. The Bears bye week is, when is their bye week? Just
8.
They're out there. think it's early. No, the early, the late. Anyways, let's do with the Packers.
With Aaron Rodgers?
It's right there.
Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit. For me.
Yeah, I get behind that.
So the Bears bye week. I don't know if it comes to it. Their bye week is week 10. Just if you want to, right after a Monday night football game with the Steelers.
The Steelers on Monday night. That's not a good one.
All right, I think that is that it? Is that it, everybody? Honey, I'm good.
I am good.
Anything else you guys want to throw out there?
Football's a month and a half away.
All right.
Training camp 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get
No, wait. I'm gonna do this now. Let's do it.
Uh-oh.
Justin Jefferson or Terry McLaurin?
Justin Jefferson.
Redraft or dynasty?
Redraft. This is all redraft.
McLaurin.
Yes.
I'm still gonna go Jefferson.
I'm gonna go Jefferson.
All right, DeAndre Hopkins or Justin Jefferson?
Hopkins.
This is redraft. Right now, Hopkins.
Jefferson.
Right now.
Jefferson.
Maybe ask me next year. I'll say Jefferson.
I'm going Hopkins. Terry McLaurin or Hopkins?
McLaurin, wide receiver 1. The wide receiver 1.
Hopkins. Yeah.
Y'all are crazy. You know why? Because I netted McLaurin off of a trade where I got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. Y'all crazy.
DK Metcalf or DeAndre.
Gary, you're drunk. You're drunk.
Well, I'm trying to like figure it out. And yes.
And yes, I am.
I am love drunk in football.
So are you going Metcalf or Jefferson?
Metcalf or Jefferson.
Metcalf.
I'll do the same.
Until week 8.
And
then they'll turn into a running team.
And then they transform.
And everyone will suffer except for Chris Carson.
Ty, anytime.
I'll go. I'm going to be the only one that goes Jefferson.
This is not just a Tide Pod. This is not like a cleansing. All right, DK Metcalf or AJ?
Have another beer. Who?
DK Metcalf or AJ Brown?
DK.
I like it too.
DK.
I
think that wraps us up.
All right, so that's good.
All right, guys. For Morgan.
At the Morgue Mart. Well, at Morgue Mart. Damn, look what you did to me.
I know, I jinxed you.
At Morgue Mart on Twitter.
At Ty, you can't find him anywhere.
That's why he's an international man of mystery.
If you want to get in touch with Ty, shoot an email to the website.
You can find him at the Smokers Oasis.
Don't email me.
You're definitely a fucking amazing Twitter handle. Smokers Oasis FF.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have been thinking about getting a Twitter handle.
Dude, make it FF Smokers Oasis.
I was thinking like social media ghost or something. I don't know.
No, don't do that. The Smoke Show.
You can find Gary at Guard_Predator. Find me on Twitter at JHood04. Find all of us on Twitter at the Smooth_FF. Guys, make sure you're listening. iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Thank you all for listening, and have a good night.
Peace.
Hey!